pomp, splendor, and luxury of Solomon's government were sustained by the toil of the workers. Strangled by exorbitant taxes, they took advantage of the transition of power to demand changes. As they were not successful, they could not align with the new king. Thus, 10 of the 12 tribes conspired against Rehoboam and followed a new leader, Jeroboam the Run, forming the northern kingdom, with its capital becoming Samaria. The northern kingdom lasted 209 years. This kingdom had 19 kings from 8 different dynasties. None of these kings were righteous. All turned away from God and followed the ways of Jeroboam West. This king decided to use religion for political purposes, fearing that his subjects would seek Jerusalem to worship in the temple and become politically attracted to the kings of Judah. Jeroboam I decided to build temples in the northern kingdom in Bethel, Gilgal, and Beersheba. In them, he placed a golden calf and induced the people to worship it as if it were God himself. All 19 kings of the northern kingdom followed this path. All were wicked and perverse, none sought God. In that time, the Lord raised up some prophets to denounce the sin of the kings of the nation and the convenience prophets, as well as the priests bribed with money. In that time, God raised up the prophets Amos, Hosea, and Micah. They bravely confronted the nation's deviations, from the palace to the huts, from rival temples to commerce, from the streets to the fields. They denounced political corruption and raised their voices against prostituted religion. They launched God's indictment against the corrupt executive and legislative powers. They denounced social injustice and economic oppression. They called the people to repentance, but their messages fell on deaf ears. During the reign of Ahab, through his wife Jezebel, the pernicious belief in Baal, the Canaanite god of prosperity, spread throughout Israel. In that time, God raised the prophet Elijah to unmask this pagan deity and undermine the credibility of the abominable idol. Even in this kingdom, God called Elisha to replace Elijah and carry out a prodigious ministry. But as Israel refused to listen to the voice of God, the Lord used the language of the rod and brought Assyria against the nation of Israel.